for the ground. I'm a 2020, whoa, whoa. Woke up to deposits and it's only 8 a.m. Do it for the fam, I don't do it for the gram. Do it for my daughters, do it for my little man. That's my 2020, reason why I win. Lot of missed calls, looking bloody in my call log. I bet to myself, I'm not sorry that I logged, dog. Check my mental health, I was feeling like a lost dog. Bounce back and wipe my paws off. Get it off the humble and I stick to what I know. Nights on top of nights, long nights took a toll. Took some steps back, but I still get up and I go. And now you know, I'ma make some and I'ma spend it, yeah. New Jeep, no doors with it, no. I won't stop now, who you kidding? Every day I wake up, I'ma send it, I'ma send it, I'ma send it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. I'ma make some and I'ma spend it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. Pressure on me daily, got the family on my back. Dreams are getting bigger, put the city on my map. Wrote inside my palm, but I'll try not to get attached. Moment that is here, could be over just like that. Fast car, no NASCAR. I was never working hard, I guess I'm mad smart. Top speed like a rocket, it was blast off. 6 figures from my couch without a mask on. Waited for my cycle like a laundromat. Going to the moon, it's on top and that. 2 straight years of dropping back to back. Epidemic jumping like an acrobat. I'ma make some and I'ma spend it, yeah. New Jeep, no doors with it, no. I won't stop now, who you kidding? Every day I wake up, I'ma send it, I'ma send it, I'ma send it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. I'ma make some and I'ma spend it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. Hope we're well. Hope you guys had a very nice weekend. Wish you all the best. It's Monday. It's time to work. For anyone who's been following the streams and know how we trade, we actually did get a position pre-stream. So yeah, some of us caught it in the Discord I saw, including myself. Happy to see that. Been waiting for this breakout for a while. GJ is moving nicely at the moment, which is nice to see. Simple trade, you know, closure above the range. I waited for some sort of confirmation on the 5-minute, which allowed me to have a place to manage the trade. Broke the high, took the trade to the next resistance and be done. You know, we do this work before we come to the charts. This lines, I haven't changed the lines since last week. We mark this up and identify the relevant zones and take trades. I mean, it doesn't get sexier than when you get a bottom wick and taps that zone exactly to the pip. You know, it's like it's telling you, you know, it's telling you time for some action here. So nice to see that. Morning. Hope everyone is well. Have Roman in the chat as well. Yes, sir. And yeah, let's get straight to it. I will let a few more people come in. Morning, just hit the gym now. Time to hit the charts. Man, from where you based, man? Where you based? Because from your name, seems like India. Same trade, Harry. Where's TP? TP was hit, man. That was TP, this line, personally, for me. If not, you probably have to hold this because it's a pretty big push. TP was here at 166.550, which came from around this zone back here, right? That we see this support. And yeah, man, you go to the gym at what? Like 6 a.m., yeah? Respect. I like it. You know, need to get that grind in. We need to challenge our body, challenge our minds. It's important. So yeah, let's get into the analysis now and have a look at what we're looking at, because we've had really interesting closes and hopefully we get some volume into this week and we start breaking out this range pretty heavy here. So if we go on the weekly time frame, what we notice is that there's a lot of mess at the bottom of my screen here that I need to clean. Because I have future events showing. There we go. So weekly has closed nicely bullish here, which is nice to see. We have this weekly resistance here at 167.471, which is obviously going to be the target on the weekly time frame. So it's nice to see the strong bullish close. And this was what I was saying last week, is it doesn't make sense. Even though we have a rejection, we still have a bullish close. Things are still bullish. Even though there's a rejection, everyone would have looked at this weekly rejection and would have been like, oh, sells. Well, weekly's rejecting. I'm going to take sells. Well, where are we today? We filled the wick and extended it. So you see that happen a lot. And it's really important to understand that just because a weekly closes bullish, doesn't mean that it's a bearish session, and doesn't mean that it's a bearish week. Because, if we look at the previous candle, it's not telling us sells. This candle's not telling us sells. And now we're pushing up. So I expect this wick to be filled at least minimum. And if we do break it, I don't see why we can't tap weekly target at up here at 167. So, about 100 pips from where we are currently is weekly target. And that's our market positioning at the moment, is 100 pips till the next resistance. Moving down to the daily time frame, we created this small consolidation. It was nice to see the area respected, right? And then we started breaking above, and this zone we marked out all the way back from here. And if you remember, when we were down here, right, and we were analyzing, we're like, fine, if we break out of this zone, our next target's going to be here. And if we see that there should be, I moved the line up a little bit. No, I moved it to here because this is the most recent daily resistance. So you can see that this zone became our resistance. And now today we're currently trying to break out of this zone. So if we can close, because this daily candle hasn't closed yet, at any time this daily candle can flip, and then we could be back into our zone here. So I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen GJ do this, and the best thing at the moment is, like, we would like to see this daily close like this, and if the next one breaks the high, we can get up to that 167 400 450, which is the weekly target, which should be somewhere around here. And then the daily target's going to be all the way up here at 168 380. So if we do close like this, it's going to give us a lot of opportunities. So if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, this is where the marker comes from. This 4-hour resistance I drew from previous 4-hour resistance, and if you remember last week, I said I'm going to leave it on here in case it becomes relevant, and it has become relevant. And we have you can see how it was respecting it during the session here. This daily resistance was our main range resistance here, and you can see we were ranging in between here, and we finally got the breakout. I could probably remove this line now. It's not too relevant, but I'm just going to keep it on for today, and maybe by tomorrow remove it. 4-hour resistance, we know why it's important. This zone is self-explanatory. This was a support, and then this is a resistance, which is our next target for today. So if you haven't taken trades already, the plan for today is you're going to wait for either to get back above this zone, and you have this clean range here of 15 pips and potentially all the way up to here at 30 pips max target, but looking around 15 to 19 pips here. Or ideally we want this price now to pull back like this, respect somewhere in this zone here, create a support, and once that creates a support, you can look to take price towards the upside here and can continue price bullish. So yeah, that's basically that. And yeah, it's important when you're taking trades early, like when I took the trade here, to close at targets pretty quick, because you can expect these pullbacks pre-London session, unless we're lucky and we just get a day that keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. But you can expect pullbacks pre-London. That's why when I'm taking these pre-London trades, that I always like to close up at TP and close full, right? And the most important thing actually is not to take it before the 4-hour close. So wait for the 4-hour to close, see how it opens, and then wait for some confirmation to take the trade there. As for news, I didn't check news today. There's nothing on my Tradingview, but just in case there's something here. For some reason it's showing me 5th of April. Obviously we're not the 5th of April here. Today is the 17th, and we have USD later on, and that's pretty much it. So tomorrow we have claim and cloud change, so that should bring some volume into the market, so that's interesting to see, but that's not till tomorrow. As for gold today, why is reversal not possible after break of structure? Because the session is bullish. We're looking for buys today. Everything's bullish. If you were to tell me, this is what I always do. Weekly, tell me what tells you to sell on the weekly. Everything's bullish on weekly. How about daily? everything's bullish on daily. How about 4 hour? 4 hour is also bullish. How about 1 hour? 1 hour, oh, 1 hour is also bullish. How about 30 minute? 30 minutes also bullish. There's only one bearish candle. So I've just gone bullish, 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 bullish. And the only time frame you can argue that we're starting to create a resistance is the 30 minute. 30 minute, you can't even argue that because there's 16 minutes before this candle even closes. So it's not confirmed bearish. Most likely it will close bearish. But the only time frame you can confirm is this 15 minute here. But that doesn't make sense because this could only be a pullback for upside. If everything's bullish, we want to not try swim upstream, right? That's basically, we don't want to fight the trend, right? The trend is your friend until the end. Very simple. As for gold today, a nice pullback on gold here. If we look at gold weekly time frame here, gold on the weekly time frame closed doji. Not too much information with this close. It basically means that it's a range and you can play the range. But on the daily time frame, we close bearish back into the range. If this ever happens, when you have a bearish close back in the range, you expect price to come and tap the bottom of the range, which we basically did with the bearish close. So kind of invalidates that. But when we go to the 4 hour time frame, I like to see this kind of change of structure. And there's no reason why I don't see price at least try to trade a bit more towards the upside, right? Change this to 4 hour support. And yeah, there's no reason why we don't see price move up a little bit from here. So I think if you're trading gold this morning, I think buys make sense. And buys actually look quite nice. What I would wait for is this to close above the range, which it sort of has. Let's see what 5 minute. Yeah, this actually looks pretty good. If this breaks this high here, you probably... Yeah, if this closes above this resistance and break this high, you probably have an option to take a trade here if you guys are interested in gold. Waiting for the 30 minute will be a lot better confirmation, but you might miss the trade. So what you could do is you could anticipate it on the 5, and if the 30 minute closes bad, just close for a very tiny loss. But yeah, only 15 minutes, might as well wait for that. Breaking that high, you should be able to get up on gold to at least fill this candle here, which is around 23 pips. So yeah, that's the analysis. I don't trade gold yet because I'm not confident yet. Yeah, it's not about confidence, it just moves different. I mean, GJ is just as hard as gold. But the difference between gold is, you know, you need to give yourself a bit wider stop loss on gold. You can't be running such a tight stop loss because especially in London session, you get these big pullbacks, and those pullbacks will eat your profits or just put your account in loss, because when gold, it moves nice, but you need to give it some room. You need to give it some room. It's very hard to time an entry exactly on gold. Only in New York can you time an entry, but New York you'll also get good pullbacks. I think it's best to trade gold in New York. I prefer trading gold in New York, but definitely if there was nothing on GJ today, I can always look at gold. But sometimes, you know, there's nothing on GJ, you look at gold and gold is ranging, you know, doing something like this. So, you know, I don't want to be trading gold. But if GJ was not doing anything today, if GJ was not doing anything, I would be trading gold right now. I would actually be taking buys today on gold. Probably as we break this 5 minute high, I would probably, or as this 5 minute and 2 minutes here closes above this resistance, if the 5 minute and 2 minutes can close above this resistance here, I'll probably be executing on buys. Or if it's moving quite fast like this, I'll probably just take buys as it breaks the resistance here. And I would target 4 hour resistance. Where's your 4 hour resistance? No, I don't see any problems. 207. 930. No, that's not an issue. So yeah, I would probably, if I didn't take GJ, this would be the buy break of this high right now. And I'd put the stop loss back in the range. So the trade would look something like this. And stop loss would be back in the range. And you target this resistance maybe up here. 1 to 1 or something. But this is your hard stop loss here. This is your hard stop loss. So I did call that before the trade happened. So don't give me any BS in the chat saying, oh, you didn't call it. I just didn't take the trade. That's why, because I took GJ this morning, but this is the trade. Whoa. Maybe I should have taken it, huh? Maybe I should have taken it. But yeah, at this point, your stop loss would go to break even. So if you guys did take that trade, let me know in the chat. Whoever took that trade. And put your stop loss to break even. Should be approaching TP pretty soon. W's in the chat. Yeah, for sure. That's a pretty easy trade. But yeah, as I said, if GJ wasn't moving and gold looked like this, I'll be taking gold. But I took GJ. Pretty easy, huh? Breaks the high. And that's, you know, you can. When there's volume in the markets like this, you can trade gold. But yeah, I probably should have taken this. But it's okay. I took GJ. Man, this is gonna run. That's a big candle. I was going to take it, and then a colleague at work came and talked to me, and I missed the move. It's not a move to miss, huh? This is a full FOMO move to miss, right? If I didn't take GJ this morning, I would be really pissed at this. You have that feeling inside, like, man. Well, TP would have been hit here. This is TP. 35 pips. Sheesh. Easy as well. Easy as well. Well, yeah, that's gold trade pretty fast. So market's moving pretty good on a Monday. I tell you what. Market's moving good on a Monday. If you guys like the analysis, leave a like, please. I'd appreciate a like. 33 of us in here. No one took gold. No one took gold. Let me know in the chat if anyone did end up taking gold. Yeah, we can do GU. No worries, brother. So amazing setup. I really appreciate that kind of help every day, and already gave a live to the stream, and also I see the stream. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate. Hope you were able to take the trade. I think GJ will come back and push and hit the range breakout area and push back up. That's predicting. I don't think we should predict. But it's fun, you know, you could say, yeah, maybe. But I don't care where it comes back to. But all I know in my mind is that buys. Today's buys. So whatever price wants to do will be a setup for buys. Yes, I think GJ, yeah, that's why buys is bullish. Buys make sense. Can add to this. Supports to form. Right? Supports to form would be the way to take GJ at the moment. That's a big move on gold. I'll answer those questions. I'll just look at GU because he asked nicely before. GU, it looks a bit like gold at the moment. Let me see the weekly. Yeah, weekly closed with a big rejection here. Daily is closing back. Yeah, this looks like, it looks exactly like gold, right? Look at this. Copy paste, huh? Yeah, it looks like gold here. Yeah, same analysis as gold. You can look for buys. Today's a mixed session. Buys do make sense above this resistance. If you do, I would prefer like not to just buy right here. It's a bit tough. This is gonna be your target. Anywhere in here is gonna be your target for today. If this could pull back here and you can try get an entry, then you can reach up here. Or you just take and run a little bit bigger stop and expect it to pull back and try get up to this spot here during the day. That's what I would do on GU. Would I consider taking a sell? I'm not selling GU at GJ. It's not. I don't think it's a good idea. Even though it closed back in the range, it's still counter trend. That's where you can get that fake out, right? Can close back in the range and then close back out. Everyone takes sells and then, this ends up doing this, right? All it did is pick liquidity from this zone here and then it's going up, right? It just pulled back to continue, right? This was Asian session highs. Price pulled back to Asian session highs. London, so that they can fill the orders to continue price up, essentially, right? That's what would make sense. But everyone's looking for sells because price is moving down, right? I'm in GJ waiting for 15. In GJ, I'm waiting for 15 to form support for buys. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I like that plan. Simple plan. Makes sense. I agree. I agree. I'm putting a poll in the chat here. So I want you guys to vote. Which thumbnail do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer the old thumbnail? Right? If you remember the old thumbnail, or do you guys like the new thumbnail? Let me know which one you guys prefer. New or old one. Which one's more attractive, right? When you look at the thumbnail, which one's more attractive? Which one's like, okay, yeah, this looks good. Which one would you click if you were watching YouTube? Which one would you click? Let's have a look at what you guys decide. This is the old one. The old one looks like this. The new one looks like this with the London thing. Right? The old one looks like this. Old versus new. Have a look and make your votes. I personally like both. I think this one is, for me, this one's more attractive, but this one just looks cooler because it has, Big Ben and stuff like that. Why did I get an alert? I didn't even have an alert set. So weird. So weird. There was not even an alert on the screen. Yeah, classier doesn't get you views. Attractiveness gets you views. Because I'm trying, but everyone seems to like the new one. Interesting. I'm used to the old one, but I think the new one's interesting to new people. Yeah. I mean, because if I'm looking at my statistics, like everyone who watches the stream now is all returning viewers. There's no new viewers in this stream, which is interesting for me. So I appreciate everyone showing up, and it's always great to have these guys. But you know, we always want new people to benefit from the stream. So I'm finding ways that I can bring new people. It's kind of like YouTube be like, okay, these are his people. You know, these are the people. We're not going to show his stream to anyone else, which is kind of annoying, right? Oh, you got the same as well? That's weird, huh? Is everything okay with my stream? Because I just got a message here saying that my stream is not doing too well. But it seems fine to me, so I'm gonna ignore it. Also, today guys, I'm gonna get this chat sorted. You will have chat on the screen, so you can watch full screen and also see the chat. I will sort this today. I will get Streamlabs up and running. So yeah. Oh, I love this question. I love this question. What do you think about risk to reward ratio? Should we keep consistent 1 to 2 or more RR? Can we use below that? What if I told you you can take a trade that is negative RR? What would you tell me about that? You can take a trade which is negative RR and still be fine. You don't have to have positive RR. Why? Because stop loss is something adjustable. A stop loss can be moved to break even. It can be anything. And when the majority of your trades win, and when the majority of your trades push in profit, the third thing you need to be worrying about is the stop loss. You don't need to worry about your trade hitting stop because that's the worst case scenario. So instead of missing the trade, you actually can take a trade, and even though it's negative, you can still make a positive and you actually still get the trade for today. So I wouldn't concentrate too much on RR. As a general rule, as a beginner, don't take a trade less than 1 to 1 RR. That's a general rule as a beginner, right? 42 watching online, so please give a like to the stream so others can take advantage of it. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. People will like the stream if they do like it. If they don't like it, they won't like the stream. Then one loss wipes a week's worth of work. Not if you can manage that loss. That's the difference, right? Because let's say, and I'll give you an example like this. This is where people mistake it. And that's a fair comment. I like that comment. But let's say I was going to take this trade right here. Okay. Which I did take. Okay. And I'm targeting, my target is this here, right? 14 pips up here. But I want to run my stops 20 pips. That's negative RR here, right? But as this next candle breaks the high here and I enter into the trade, if any candle now ends up closing below here, there's obviously something wrong with the trade. And when most of your trades put you in profit, if this candle starts to close here, I can actually close the whole trade, and instead of losing 20 pips, I only lose 5 pips. So in reality, my trade was a 2 to 2.5, but I didn't make the lot size bigger because I used more of a fixed lot size, right? So in reality, you know, you can have that negative RR, but then you'll have a place to manage your trade. And if you have a place to manage your trade, then it's not really negative RR because you only lose a lot less than expected, right? And when you use fixed lot size, it doesn't matter because you're mostly going to go in with the same lot size every single time. So your profits will be the same for the same amount of pips, right? Say you always use a 10 lot, you would pop a 10 lot on that. If you use a 10 lot there, then that's it, right? You know, you're going to make the same profits at 14 pips than you would have made, right? Morning, James. Morning. Why did you delete your question, man? Why did you delete? It wasn't stupid. I wasn't insulting you, man. I was just trying to help you. I wasn't trying to be rude. How often do you suggest to move stop loss to break even? When it makes sense to move to break even. It's a very it depends on a lot of things. If you're reaching an area of concern, can go to break even. You know, maybe this 166,500, I went to break even. No point of losing the trade at that point. I'm already 12 whatever pips in profit. Another reason you can go to break even is if you're past where, you know, you're in a deep profit that, you know, you have to ask yourself, would it make sense losing this trade? But most of the time, if you're in front of the screen, you don't need to go to break even, because you can have your finger on the you know, the X button and close the trade if anything starts to go funky. If you're scalping gold, a 1 minute candle close above this zone here, at this point you probably want to wait for the 1 minute close, but if a 1 minute close is above here, you could scalp gold. But the stop loss is too big for the 1 minute. That entry we discussed earlier, this entry here breaking this 5 minute high, was the best entry. But I took GJ, so I wasn't interested in it. And that's what happens. If I take a trade on one pair, I prefer to just stick to that. You don't want to give back profits to the market, right? Okay, I'm gonna end this poll here. It looks like 83% of people, 83% of people voted for the new one here. Not bad, not bad. So I guess we'll keep the new one. We'll keep the new one. Eric, brother, you have to fix your shift key, brother. You have to fix your shift key or your caps key, man. How much is a keyboard, man? How much is he still? Yeah, he's still. Obviously, he still lost the caps. Wiping out a week's worth of profits is not a good idea. Your trade shouldn't wipe out a week's worth of profits. You should have an area in your trade where you can manage the trade. So take this for example. If I didn't close my buys up here, when this candle here closed below here, I would just have closed the trade instead of letting it hit stop loss down here. I would have been done. So really, from my entry, I only lost 5 pips. So I have, you know, I have a way to manage the trade, and that's from understanding how price action works and what makes sense on the chart. It's his signature way to write. Yeah, I mean. Where are you based, Eric? Where are you based? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, not one trade should wipe out that much. Maximum, if you just get like a day where it just completely goes against you, maybe wipes out 2 trades. Yeah, start GoFundMe for Eric's keyboard. How much is a keyboard? We'll buy Eric a keyboard. Thanks for answers. Always good, man. No worries. If Eric lets me know where he's based, I'll buy him a keyboard. It's from Sri Lanka, brother. Country was bankrupt like a year ago. I'll buy you a keyboard, brother. I'll buy you a keyboard. What do I think about EU? Let's have a look. Daily's bearish. Weekly did close bullish here, but reject that resistance. We're in this range. 4 hours trying to create support. If this 4 hour closes above here by New York, buys would make very easy sense. At the moment, though, it's a little bit tough. I probably, 5 pips. I probably want to get above this resistance, hold support, and then you can look to take buys. And by that time, probably you'll have that 4 hour close as well, which would be nice. Look at this. GJ trying to create support now. Retested the highs. Jiggy was right with his prediction. Morning, Harry. Just buy gold. Bought GJ already. Closed GJ trade. And then missed gold because I bought GJ. Yeah, buying gold is really easy, man. We were looking at this, Ethan. We were looking at this 5 minute. When the 5 minute created support, broke the high here. Man, it's easy. I bought both. Greedy bastard, man. Greedy. Nice work, man. Nice work. Who's the primary trader that influenced my strategy the most? That's a tough question, man. That's a very tough question. Influenced my strategy the most. Really, it's a tough mix. It's a tough mix, man. You did the same? Nice, man. Nice. Did you take these GJ buys? I took GJ buys here on this 5 minute like this. Ran stop loss somewhere down here. Target these highs here and be done. You took the same GJ buys as well? Everyone check out Harry's video from 7 days ago. Amazing on backtesting. Yeah, I appreciate. Where's that video? Yep, this one here. Should have a look at that. We'll release a video this week on Sunday this week, so next week basically. Reducing the videos to once every 2 weeks, sometimes every week. Depends on if I have a good topic. I just don't want to put out a video for the sake of it. I want to put quality videos out. Nice. Took another one earlier, Asian session. Where in Asians? This? 166, 100? If you took that, man, that's a nice entry. What about GJ now on the 5? It doesn't matter on the 5. Nice, Ethan, nice. It doesn't matter on the 5. You need 15 at least minimum, and needs to probably close back above this 4 hour resistance. This is a lot of people are going to miss this. How this was the support for our buys, right? Where the candle wick down. This can also be a resistance for price to continue. Just because this could just be a reaction. A reaction from the top of the range here. But we could easily reject. So you probably want to see this 15 minute close above this 4-hour resistance that we have from before, and then you have, you know, basically the same trade to go again, the same trade. What's the video gonna be on Sunday? Not sure at the moment. I'm not sure. Any suggestions? Let me know in the chat. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Do you look at Dixie? I do look at Dixie, but not for my day trading. I look at Dixie just for overall market analysis on a higher time frame. Maybe look at it once a week just to have a flick, or maybe when someone asks me to look at it, I just have a look at it. But I don't use it to correlate my trading, because if you can analyze Dixie, it's just going to be an inverse correlation of the pair you're trading. So why not just focus on the pair that, you know, you're looking at? Don't confuse yourself with Dixie. GJ buys will be valid after breakout of current exhaustion candle. I get what you're trying to say, but make the question a little bit simpler, right? After this candle is rejected and created support, can we take buys? I have started my Only Pips channel. Yes, 100% making that video. Only Pips coming soon. Exclusive content, you know what I'm saying? Exclusive content on how to trade GJ. Only Pips. Alright, 15 close bullish here. Immediately pushed off the rip here. Off the rip push. Yeah, pretty tough to get in. Unless you took it right off the rip here. We'll see what it does right here. Yeah, that's a lot of volume. Personally would have preferred it to give a second shot. You do use your trade profits on things? No, I don't use my trade profits on that. Come on. I don't pay for that. That's why what I did. Yeah, nice. Took it off the rip. Just be careful now. You know, this might flip. If a 15-minute candle ends up closing, if this 15-minute ends up closing bearish, I'll probably just close the trade and wait for another one to close bullish. I've seen this happen. Do I play games during my free time? Unfortunately, I don't have time to play games. I used to play games. I used to actually play CSGO. Play Valorant? Yeah, that came out after I started playing CSGO. Anime version of CSGO, yeah, exactly. He's in Dubai, he doesn't need OnlyFans, he has real fans. You know what they say? Dubai shit, Dubai whips. I see what you mean about the previous area causing the resistance. Yeah, exactly. If you had the close above the 4-hour resistance, there'd be more confidence in this trade. But your trade's still valid, man. It's still valid. You just have that at the back of your mind, which is not what I like in a trade, because now I'm questioning, okay, maybe I should have waited for that. But at the end of the day, you can't dictate everything you want the markets to do for you. So it definitely makes sense. But personally, on this occasion, after such a heavy pullback, I'd prefer to see that, or at least why one 5-minute candle closing bearish and the next one closing above, something like this. If that happened here, at least you have, you know, because this could easily turn into a resistance and price could fall back here before later on doing this, right? But for now, it makes sense. There's nothing wrong with the trade. You hold it. The plan makes sense. It's what we're looking for. You have a support here. Until this support is invalidated by a candle closing below, the trade is not wrong. So you hold the trade until that happens. And just don't focus on anything else. Just focus on that 15-minute candle close. You can leave the charts for 15 minutes. Go make a coffee, do whatever you want to do. Come back in 15 minutes. If this candle has closed bearish below the support, yeah, consider managing your trade. If the trade is still fine, hold it. Didn't know you're in Dubai. Action fans, man, you guys in Dubai. I seem to keep going down to the 5. Yeah, you need to knock that habit. It's going to cause you issues. 5 is only for entry. Confirmation comes from 15:30 and 1 hour. What are my views on gold? Gold, bullish. We was discussing gold was bullish. The buys came earlier this morning. We were discussing the break of that 5-minute high. If I had to take gold at the moment now, I would probably be waiting for a 15-minute candle maybe to close bearish, maybe the next one breaking the high, or a small pullback to continue up. I think you can easily have targets if we start breaking this high back up to maybe 2015 here. 2015 makes sense. BE, yeah, that's sensible. Good, you made that decision quite fast. I like it. But you see what I mean? How that 4-hour resistance became an issue? Like now you'd be screwed, right? That's why I wouldn't want to take it. Which would I want GJ to close above? This one right here at 166.369. Close above, or if this, because that's 9 minutes for that to happen. Now that you're getting this bearish candle close here, this is nice to see. So if the next 5-minute can close above here and break this high, maybe you can go again a little bit earlier. But that's using momentum, a bit more advanced entry, pushing it a bit harder. If you want to just take the safe entry and something more basic, you wait for the next 15-minute to close, or the 30-minute, right? 30-minute close in 9 minutes. 30-minute close is bullish above this orange line I have here. That makes sense as well. Right? Everyone gets too focused on the lower time frames when 30-minute, 1 hour is great. You can see we test this 1 hour resistance, which also became our rejection. Do you think crypto charts are more choppy and hard to trade than Forex? Yeah, I do think that it might not be harder, but the problem is it's not as consistent. It moves randomly, but people are very successful trading it. But for me personally, I like to have a fixed schedule and don't always like to trade it at the different times. Like you kind of have to set alerts, have your zone set alerts, and then wait for the trade. No, my doubt is which 4-hour resistance. You mentioned 4-hour resistance. Yeah, this is the 4-hour resistance here, brother. 166.369. That's the one. That is the one. If you guys are enjoying the stream, consider leaving a like. Always appreciate it. If you're new to the stream, welcome. Hope you can join for future streams. And in order to join for future streams, we go live pre-London session into London. And if you want to join for future streams, you can subscribe. If you subscribe to the channel, it will allow you to join for future streams. That's how it works. Right? So you know that we go live. So this 5-minute candle closing here, if this 5-minute closes like this in 2 minutes, you can probably go again. Problem is it's only 16 pips. It looks like a big move, but it's only 16 pips again. But again, this could be worth it. If you haven't taken a trade, if this 5-minute closes above this 4-hour resistance, that's probably can be a better entry now once you've seen this. If it still doesn't close above the 4-hour resistance, then I don't feel too confident in the trade again. And yeah. A lot of volume here in the market. You see how fast these candles are moving? A lot of volume here. It's nice to see. Just wish the ranges were a little bit bigger. This whole range here is a 16 pip range. Wish that was like 35 pips. So 5 minutes not going to close above. That's why it's super important to wait for closures. Always wait for closures. Keeps you safe. Keeps you safe. Yes, I can. This was marked up from back here. Only reason I kept it on the chart, and I'll show you why I kept it on the chart. If you look at this 4-hour resistance, how relevant it's been all week, right? When we broke out, this was our support. When we failed, when we got below it, it's where it gave our breakdown. When we tried, we struggled here again. And you can see, look how many times on the 30-minute we held support, struggle, struggle, struggle. When we tried to come back up, we struggled again. But when we closed above it, the moves were clean. Same thing here, close above it, move was clean. When we're not above it, we struggle, right? Struggle. So that's just a bit more of, that's why it's super important to stick to one pair or only a few pairs, because you can notice these type of things, right? You can notice things that happened last week because you were doing work on the pair last week. You were looking at the pair last week. You were analyzing it. And when you do that, you can start to realize, okay, fine. Since I've looked at that pair from last week, I know what zones are really relevant at the moment. And if you know the relevant zones, that enables you to be able to keep safe in the markets, right? While we're waiting for the setups, introduce where we're from. If people want to do that, they can do that. It's up to them. Chat is for you guys. You can do whatever you want to do in chat. Except for hateful stuff. Hateful stuff, we don't want in chat. Morning, Agi. You are reading minds, Harry. You already answered my follow-up question. Anticipation, brother. Anticipation. It's what trading's about, right? It's what trading about. It's you have to anticipate moves in the market, right? C Trader users. I'm sure there's someone who uses C Trader. I know, yep, there we go. I was just going to say that, man. Just going to say I know Ethan has used C-Trader before. Just going to say that. Beat me to it. Fast typer, this guy. Have to wonder who he's chatting to online, you know? Chatting to whoever he's chatting to online. Fast, speedy. Spends a lot of time there, huh? Good morning, Harry. What is your thoughts about EJ? Basically at monthly high and haven't really been above price since 2008. Could expect a huge sell. How would you approach this? Thanks for a nice detailed description. I like the question. Let's have a look. So monthly high. So I like that you're looking at this type of analysis. We have been here in 2014 and then we revisited it in 2020. So that's the last time. We can expect a huge sell, but there's nothing that tells us to sell, right? And that's the biggest mistake people make, is they try to predict the market's call tops and bottoms. If you call tops and bottoms in Forex and in the market, that's where you're going to fail, right? You're going to fail when you call tops and bottoms, so never try call tops and bottoms. At the moment, who isn't to say that third time is the chance and it's the time that we break out and actually start trading higher, right? So if that's the case, then you don't trade based off that, right? So at the moment it's still bullish. If a weekly candle does start closing bearish and breaking the lows, then you can start anticipating that this has formed another resistance and can expect maybe some more downside, right? Looking at the daily, you know, there's no resistance form yet. Yeah, we're at highs. It's not the best place to buy. I agree with you 100%, but doesn't mean to take a sell, right? Doesn't mean to take a sell. So I hope that answers your question. You need to wait for resistance to form, essentially. You could do a poll, Harry, of people who use MT4, MT5, Trader, or TradingView. Well, I'd recommend not to use TradingView because TradingView is not a tick chart. It's a second chart. That's number one. MT4 doesn't matter. MT5 I would probably use. MT4, MT5 exactly the same. Very small differences. But now, what's this? I think it's meta quotes. That's what they're called. They're not giving support for MT4. So you might as well use MT5. Trader, haven't personally used myself, so I can't give you, but I do know people who do use them and they like it. It's more modern than MetaTrader, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm using MT5. Listen, we do our analysis on TradingView. We're just using the broker to press a button. It's not really rocket science here, right? Something very simple just to press a button. I can code things like weekly, daily open, low, high, CPR, etc trading. So do you think it's a good idea to use way of marking resistance? No, not... I don't think it will be too useful. It's just kind of like a lazy... If you don't want to do it yourself, then you can code. But the open is not important. The candle close is important. Not the wicks. The closes is more important than the opens. But what you can code Pine script, I'm assuming. If you can code Pine script, that's pretty cool. It's pretty useful. I got this coded for me, this indicator I made for people. I need this one, session bias, right? Session bias is bullish. This is a free indicator for everyone. All you have to do is type session bias. It just helps you, but it's a basic understanding. It doesn't explain mixed session bias, but it will tell you when it's a mixed session bias. But you need to have more understanding. And before you guys say, oh, how do I get understanding? You don't tell me anything. Well, you know, I do, because I made a video on that exact thing, right? Mixed session bias, to help you guys. So, yeah, you're covered. You're covered. You know, you're covered. What scenario do you consider your zone not valid anymore? Example, this 4-hour resistance. Yeah, that's a good question. I think that also comes with a bit of experience. But for example, let's take this daily resistance, which is still valid. Let me show you an example. Trying to show you an easy example. Let's show a 15-minute example, right? Let's say we had this. Imagine this was a 4-hour, right? This zone right here. Focus in on here. Once I saw price broke through it, closed above, and when it came back, it had no relevance for it. Like, it didn't really care. Nothing happened at this zone, right? It didn't come back, retest it, maybe show some resistance or show some rejection. It was irrelevant. It invalidated. So this was the first indication that the zone became invalid. And then when we came back, it did nothing. So at that point, there's no point of me having the zone. The next valid zone, I would just end up removing this line, or I'd move it up to here or move it down to here, depends what I'm looking for. That's how I would personally approach it. All right, this 15 close bearish, pull back to the bottom of the range. Again, if this 15 can close above the 4-hour resistance, should be pretty good leading into London Open to continue up for buys. If If you're looking at one pair, then it's quicker to market by eye, makes you look and understand price action more. Yes, that is true. So at this point here, I would, before considering taking a buy on GJ, I'd wait for this 15-minute to close above this resistance here. If there's a lot of volume here, maybe this 5. Yeah, this 5 closes right now. But the 5 is not closing above this 4 hour. If it does close above the 4 hour, yeah, maybe I have to execute on this now. But it's not doing that. I'm still a bit iffy. No top wick as well. A little bit iffy. But if this just goes out the screen, nothing you can do. That's one advantage of taking trades very early, is you're not pressured to take another one. But the best option here in 9 minutes is going to be this 15-minute closing above. If this 15-minute can close above here in 9 minutes and not, you know, mess up and go all the way to the top of the screen, that'll be a nice entry. 14 pip stop, 16 pip target. But yeah, it has to behave itself at the moment. So yeah, guys, probably going to wrap up the stream here. You guys know the plan. That is the plan if I'm looking for further buys today. Buys came early, so yeah, maybe you see gold analysis. Yeah, we can look at that quickly before I go. Gold analysis, very simple here. You wait for a pullback and then support to form to take price up, or you're looking for something to close above this resistance that may form in 8 minutes. If this closed very weak bearish, you could try at pre-London or London Open as it breaks the high to get a trade towards the upside, right? As it breaks the high, you could try to get a trade towards the upside, and that will be that, right? As for GJ now, at the moment, pushing pretty heavy. That 5 minute was the one, but didn't close above 4 hour resistance. A little bit tough. If you're gonna continue trades at the moment, wait for the 15-minute close and see how it closes. And if not, you're taking it above the resistance anyways. If not, then the 1 hour candle close will look nice, right? Even if this 1 hour candle closes a little bit deep, you have nice options for upside, right? So hopefully, guys, catch you on the next stream. Catch you very, very soon. Thank you as always for joining and showing up. And yeah, take care, trade sharp, and hopefully catch you on the next stream. And peace. Still here.